All right, let's start with this. This is Matt Marion, Memphis shift knobs. I ran across this on Facebook and clicked on it, and I started looking at these shifter knobs. And I was impressed. Here's one that says Golf. And this one is Shell. A lot of different things on these. I think this one is like a $50 or $1 kind of symbol. The one that I liked the best had a V8 symbol on it, and I actually bought it from this guy. And what I found out after I bought it is that he has a, let's see if I can get this right. He has another website, or another, he has actually a YouTube site. Let's see if I can find it here. Because I was talking to him. That ain't it. Hot Rod Blues. Now he has a website called Hot Rod Blues, and I went over here and started listening to these guys. And this is a bunch of guys that I guess some of them are younger than me, some of them are older than me, but they're old enough to be in the age group that I'm in. And I guess that Matt isn't in this, but he's running the equipment in the background. And these guys are telling stories. For example, they were telling one story about a guy that had a car fall on him, and he was on a creeper, and the car went down the driveway and took him down the driveway with him. And that happened to me. That didn't happen to me, but I did have a car fall on me. He was telling about another guy who, back in high school, when they used to sit in the class and they'd be reading Hop Up magazine. Well, I had a Hop Up magazine. I had a '53 Cadillac engine in the rat rod, and it had stories in there about how to do things with that engine. One of the things I didn't know back then was the Studebakers and the heads on the two engines between the Studebaker and the Cadillac were interchangeable. The Studebaker heads had adjustable valves, but there were a lot of early tricks you could do to build a hot rod. And this is before Chevrolet invented the small block Chevy, which took over the world. Before the 265 and the 283 and the 327 and the 350, a lot of very famous early hot rods had the Cadillac 331 engine in them, and had Chrysler engines and stuff like that. But he's got a video here, and he's got other stuff out there. I don't even know it all, but I wanted to point you in his direction. And I don't think this is necessarily his page, but he's associated with this Hot Rod Blues page. And listening to these guys was, it was like listening to a bunch of old guys that lived through. There was a famous age in hot rodism that is going to be gone. After World War II, a lot of people came back from the war. There was a lot of equipment around, and people started grabbing pieces and parts of this and that and making cars, making hot rods, making cool stuff. So anyway, all of that, and when he's recording these guys, he's documenting that. Well, anyway, I ordered a shifter knob from him. It came in this nice little black case, and I've got a couple of his little cards and things, stickers here. Memphis shift knobs. And he's on his Facebook page. He's got stuff. I think he's building a car. It may be a 32, and you can tell by the quality of the work he's doing that it's really good stuff. So anyway, we're going to walk down the hot rod, and I'm going to show you what I got. I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about doing it. Because to be honest with you, when I bought this knob, I've got, as you know, I've got a very cool shifter on a rat rod. It's actually made out of a Chevy 65 Chevy 283 piston rod and piston, and I bent it around and reshaped it and fitted it onto a T5 Chevy 5-speed transmission. and it's awesome. It's got a short throw, 63 Impala. I was watching him talking about his 32 Confederate Chevrolet rat rod truck he built back about 15 years ago. But I love that shifter, and when I bought this knob, I thought, man, I really want that knob. But then I thought, well, I'm not gonna put that on the rat rod because I've got that cool Chevy piston shifter, and I don't want that. So, but then I thought, well, there's other things I can do. So I brought it down here. We're just gonna go. We're gonna go down here and we're gonna open the doors. We're gonna take a look. We're gonna talk about Matt and what he's doing, and me and what I'm doing, and what this shifter knob is gonna do for me, and what I like about it. So we have here my rat rod, and this is what I have for a shifter. And I love that. That's actually a 48 Ford flathead. I said 283, but that's a flathead. I just, when I looked at it, I remembered that. So that's a flathead, 48 flathead, V8 shifter, piston and knob, piston and piston rod. But this Studebaker here had this for a shifter knob on the, it's a column shift, and it has it's like an 88 Cutlass steering column, which is moderner than what the Studebaker would have had. It's adjustable and tilts, has turn signals. But it had this knob right here on this. So when I open the car and I see that, I see, oh yeah, it's an 88 Cutlass, or maybe it could be like, you know, Buick or Oldsmobile, you know, something from the 70s, something from the 80s. Not something that makes me feel hot about this. But I pulled that off, and I put this one that Matt made for me on here. This is a V8. Now that right there, oh, just look at it. Now see, even though I don't have the shifter in the floor here, just that change, that difference right there adds so much to this car. I really like that. So I just want to share that with you. You know, here's a guy, and obviously he's got other skills. He's building a hot rod, he's making videos, he's doing a lot of cool stuff. But, you know, obviously he's got a lot of skills. He's using them to make cool hot rod stuff, and I just wanted to share with you what I got from him, and I will be permanently attaching that to my Studebaker, and it's got the V8 symbol in it, like a Ford symbol on it, like an old Ford V8, which obviously this is not an old Ford or a V8, but oh well, I still like it. I still like it very much. So I just want to share that with y'all, and share another YouTuber with you, and share, you know, somebody else out there who's doing cool hot rod related stuff. So there's that. By the way, I just stuck it on yesterday, and I hadn't made it tight, but I love that. I love that little knob thing, you know. Cool. But I haven't. Yeah, that's a nice little V8 thing, you know. And I kind of dug that. Huh?
What's this from?
Well,
33.
I don't even know. If you can read that, you got better eyes than I do. Got some dates on it, but
that's cool. I like that. Where'd you get this from? This
there's a guy on, well, I ran across him on Facebook. There's a guy that makes those.
Really?
And I ran across it and looked him up. Apparently he's a hot rod guy. He's building a hot rod, but he also runs a YouTube website where he does a lot of pretty interesting old school hot rod videos. So
that's cool.
I'm just now making a video about him and that, and I'll put you in the video admiring his knob. And then that'll give him a little extra,
yeah,
a little extra publicity, so people. Because I looked at his I looked at his YouTube site and there's hardly anybody over there. I said, well, that ain't right. There
Yeah.
needs to be more people watching this guy. He's got some good stuff out there. You know,
Yeah, I think so. It looks old, like vintage almost.